Thanks. I still have my mic muted. I'm just like trying to get in position. My mic muted. All right. So, yeah, we were just seeing Yakos had the debate for the second resource there. He had two Sabines, so we put a Sabine down, and then the other one was like, do I put, a reach card? Like, which one? Do I put Metal Ceremony? He decided to put the Heroic Sacrifice down, which I think is probably fine. Sabine, like when you're playing the Sabine deck, the Sabine unit or the A Wing are like your two best, I think, round one plays. And he has one of them, so he's off to a great start. He's got the Fleet Lieutenant follow up, like feels pretty good. Thorrk had to mulligan, because his first hand had like no round one plays. It had questionable round two play of I think Energy Conversion Lab. Super Laser Technician, which if you don't hit something with 2 HP on the other side, that feels real bad. Even with a ramp, you'll just lose before it matters. So he had a mulligan and actually got a much better hand, I think, for this matchup. All these are fairly solid early round plays. The Death Star Stormtrooper, though, is not good into Sabine because she can just kill it without trading. So, like, it's a debate here. Like, does he probably drops the Seasoned Shore Trooper. He might be thinking, like, do I just force choke out of the gate? But I feel like you got to save that force choke for Sabine flip, right? Like, oh, he could. Yeah, okay. They didn't see this play either. He could ambush that into Sabine, which is the play that gets around the fact that Sabine could just ping it out. But yeah, now Energy Conversion Lab is done for the rest of the game. Yakos here thinking, do I do the base damage or do I take the initiative? Because if I don't think there's a world where it makes sense for Thorrk to just get a base ping here. Like, initiative's better, right? Unless he wants to open fire whatever the play is. And that's where he just passes here. Or just takes the base damage here. And he's probably debating, yep, okay. So he wants to go second next round is the idea there. Because he wants to open fire whatever gets played. And he'll probably be more than happy to open fire this Fighters for Freedom that's about to see play. So, my prediction. Yeah, I don't know if it was that desperate, John. I think it probably was an okay play. It saves them a lot of damage early. Like, and he's going to just slam the open fire here. Yeah, the ECL Super Laser Tech in his first hand would have helped, but he would have had to have waited until round 3 to do that because you need 4 resources. Like, his first hand wasn't going to be able to do that, like, and live. But I think this is a pretty great start so far for Thorrk. He's doing what he needs to do. And this hand just got real bad for Yakos because he doesn't want to run the Fleet Lieutenant out with no pump. Running out the Spec Force doesn't feel great. I don't know how he resources it, though. Like, you're going to hold on to both. I guess you can double pump your Sabine. But we've got Thorrk here just waiting to force choke that Sabine as soon as it flips. Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot. I don't know why I didn't think about that, CQ. Like, that you get the resource to do that from the Super Laser. It's too early for these tournaments for me. It needs to be much later. Yeah, this game could probably almost all be over if he flips into this force choke. It's gonna feel real bad, but he didn't leave himself with any other good plays really. Like, you just gonna aggression to kill this Stormtrooper and draw a card here, like. You just pass. Like, he's thinking, like, do I? No, I don't ping. You don't ping. You have to ping your own guy. Like, he's thinking if he wants to play the Death Star Stormtrooper, but don't. Just save up the force choke. Like, you just pass, and he did. And he's going to flip in, and he's going to windmill slam his force choke into the table. Get to draw a card, though. Pray that he draws a better card than what he has so far. It's a so-so card. Partisan Insurgent with no other red units. He might be wishing he put down a Metal Ceremony and kept that Spec Force in his hand. To at least have something to turn that on. Yeah, it's super awkward. I don't know what I would do, Yakos here. Like, to be resource efficient, he just needs to, like, aggression, kill the Seasoned Shore Trooper, draw a card, and see if you can put together, I think, something more aggressive. I don't like any of the other plays. I don't like Fleet Lieutenant with no bonus, doing nothing. I don't like Partisan with wasting 2 resources. So it's like the only play I think you can reasonably make is aggression, keep the board clear, draw another card, and hope to put together a better hand for next round. I mean, it's looking at Thorrk's hand, like he's at 2 cards top decking because some of the aggressive early plays that he made. So, like, I think you could reasonably try to just build up the board heading into round 5 and hope that, like, Thorrk's draw craps out. But yeah, he's going with the Fleet Lieutenant with no bonus. Does not feel great. Yeah, see, if he would have drew, he would have got the A-Wing. No, he wouldn't have got the A-Wing. He would have got the Fleet Lieutenant. Not great for this round, but I think could have got A-Wing and one more card for this next round. I don't know. We will see how that line plays out. Get the 2 in. Yeah, and Thorrk drew kind of garbage. Like, that was the other thing. Like, he didn't draw well. You could have set up for a really aggressive round 5. I mean, you can still punish him, though, even with a Fleet Lieutenant. It just wasting resources is awkward. Let's go 5. Put him at 8 to 6. So let me see your hand. Let me see how bad the damage is going to be. Not too bad this round. Maybe I'm just underrating Metal Ceremony. Like, I like it well enough, but we've seen both Yakos in this game and the last game with Destiny. People just hold on to those Metal Ceremonies like they're going out of style. Like, they do not want to resource them. They're like, I'm going to use these at some point. Even if it's just giving this Fleet Lieutenant like 1 XP. Thorrk could ping here. Like, he could slow roll. He knows nothing else is going to come down. I think there's an argument, actually, that Thorrk claims there instead of playing the Death Star Stormtrooper. Because if he claims, he can lead out with killing units. Killing at least 1 Fleet Lieutenant. Because I'm not sure if the one ping here, like, he puts the, if he's going to Metal Ceremony, he'll put the XP on, like, whatever your other unit is that you don't ping. So I think now you still claim, like, claim's worth more than the ping. Yeah. And then it's just, do you want a Metal Ceremony or 2 to make this Fleet Lieutenant bigger? Or do you want to save it and pray Thorrk doesn't top deck the Overwhelming Barrage? Because if he does, it could be rough. He did not. Thorrk's hand is not doing him any favors here. Like, he could lose off the back of, like, not finding his Overwhelming or not finding, like, more removal. Not finding interceptors. Like, this is rough. The Seasoned Shore Trooper does get big enough to trade. Oh, and he got the K2. Solidly solid. Puts the wing leader down, though. Is that the right play? Like, he could pivot to big space. K2SO is real great here, but resource-wise is a little awkward. Just takes the 3. He's not letting it live. It's going to get traded before it can get metal ceremonied. Well, even one metal ceremony, he can still run the seasoned, I guess, but not like he has much options. Just trade it out. He could run, what, 6 damage in with 2 swings with aggression, but playing the K2SO here is probably the more solid play. And actually, I might be fine with the double metal just to make this a huge ass A-Wing. I mean, energy conversion lab's off the table. Thorrk has no space sentinels, so like play the K2SO, make your A-Wing hit for 5. Thorrk can't stop. So, you know, he's going to push damage. He's going to do 4 and ready, I'm guessing. Feels like the less aggro play. Oh, but he can drop the metal ceremonies before he attacks here. That's actually kind of tech, because then it puts him in one. Yaha! I'm catching up to the thoughts. Because you double metal ceremony, put him to 20, and then you're threatening 1 action kill next round, and Thorrk can't do anything in his deck to stop that line. He doesn't have any space sentinels. He does have 1 out. He can grab an open fire for 4 with the Vader ping. So he's praying for an open fire to not lose. See, those metal ceremonies did eventually pay off. Haha. And he gets the... Oh, no. He gets the traitorous. Clutch. That traitorous is clutch. He had another out. So I knew the open fire was an out. The traitorous isn't out. He slams the traitorous. But the aggression steals it back. Oh, this is a fun game. Because he can just play the aggression to steal it back. Do it. Do it now. The clutch aggression to defeat an upgrade. GG's. Yep. That should be scoop mode. That was awesome. Alright, so he won off the aggression. Defeating the traitorous. Getting it back. Let's go to game 2. Alright, that was fun. Fun aggro shenanigans. See how game 2 goes. So we've got Yakos has up to 1 game, and we are going into game number 2. Yeah, I mentioned this in my first stream for sideboarding. I much prefer if you want to be more strategic with your sideboarding, put your whole sideboard into your deck, and then go through your deck and pull out 10 cards. You don't have to let your opponent know how many cards you're sideboarding. So Thorrk here is just letting his opponent know how many cards he's sideboarding. Yeah, CQ, that aggression was clutch in that spot. Super clutch. Sealed that game. Like, Thorrk thought he might have had it out, but no. Feels like most of Thorrk's sideboard is for this match. He brings in the Consortium Star Vipers. He brings in the Cell Block Guards. He brings in the Disabling Fang Fighters. Just to have more space, some healing, some more Sentinels. Yakos did not sideboard. He doesn't really have an anti-aggro or anti-control sideboard. Like, he could bring in the Confiscates and the Disablings, because Thorrk does run. He is down to just one Vader's Lightsaber, two Fallens, but yeah, runs quite a bit of, or he runs a few upgrades you want to remove. All right, so we have the Overwhelming Barrage in the opening hand. That is good for Thorrk. The Death Star Stormtrooper is decent here, but like on the play, you don't really run it out because you don't know which arena your opponent's going in or where the ping needs to go. This hand for Yakos is very solid. Like, I mean, it's pretty much the hand you want to put together for aggro. You get the A-Wing. You have it for round 1 A-Wing, round 1 Sabine. You're kind of happy with either of those. Otto puts down the Force Throw because he doesn't have a Force unit. He can ambush the Fang Fighter here to take out the A-Wing and live, so that might be a line that we see here. He has the open fire option. Yeah, and he's just doing this play. Save the damage, have a space unit out for whatever else. And then we got to see if Yakos wants to... He's probably going ground with this hand. Like, he's going Fighters for Freedom on the ground. I don't think you run Red 3 out when it can just get traded. Like... But who knows? I've been wrong before. What's the decision? Yep, Fighters for Freedom. Gets 3 into base. I think there's an argument in that spot for Thorrk to claim. So he can lead off with open fire. But then he eats the damage from Sabine. But, like, yeah, Sabine shouldn't trigger there. I think that's one of the big things, like with Sabine, when you're playing, like, some players get too stuck into just using her action every round, even if it loses them initiative. But I think you have to be really aware of, like, when taking initiative is just more value. Like, attacking, even just attacking with Fighters for Freedom, first reaction in this round is more damage than the one Sabine paying last round. Double open fires and an overwhelming barrage. Thorrk is in removal city at the moment. Well, Yakos try to play around the removal. I like the wing leader here. Like, if you know that your opponent's probably sitting on force choke or open fire, like, you could wing leader, go up to 6 HP on the Fighter for Freedom. If you can't kill it, can't really, I guess. Yeah, he was going to eat the open fire. He got the damage, he's going to eat the open fire anyway. You might be looking on the flip to Sabine and then put the XP on Sabine is a line. 4 resources here is kind of awkward, though, with what he has in his hand. Like, he could opt for playing Unit Sabine and keep fighting this round just to push damage. Now he knows he's safe to flip. Well, yeah, he knew he was safe to flip Sabine off of, because there was no force unit. So after the open fire was done, he couldn't get his Sabine force choked this round. 3 to base. All right, so now it comes down to, like, does he put the 6 to the base with keep fighting and plays the Sabine unit? Or does he play the wing leader and can put 5 to base instead of 6, but gets a much bigger leader unit? Looks like he's probably going the keep fighting route. Thorrk, oddly enough, ahead on damage this game, but not for long. Now, there is this point here where you could be like, keep fighting Unit Sabine and take out the Death Star Stormtrooper for nothing. Or is he just all gas? Is the question. And he's all gas. Ties it up at 11. Thorrk's going to be looking at the 5 damage overwhelming barrage, but it can't kill both in one action. Like, he can kill Unit Sabine, put 2 damage on Leader Sabine. Leader Sabine will get an action. Good news is, even if Wing Leader then comes down for Leader Sabine, he can still trade whatever unit, assuming obviously he picks one of the ground units, he can trade whatever one got the overwhelming barrage into Sabine, regardless. He could slow roll the overwhelming barrage and just open fire Unit Sabine, but like, I think you take the opportunity with overwhelming barrage to get rid of both of the opponent's units this round. Like, you OB the Viper Probe droid, and that kills unit. And the reason I would kill Unit Sabine is just so I don't have to worry about him deleting the Death Star Stormtrooper. I mean, I guess he could pump the Death Star Stormtrooper, and that now she still could trade because it'd still only be 3 HP. Well, I'm wrong. He's going that route. So he hits that Sabine for all 5. Does put a risk in that Unit Sabine could trade with his bigger dude, which I don't know if there's like a point where Yakos starts thinking like, maybe I need to slow my roll a little bit and defend. Wing Leader, he knows, is not great here because Death Star Stormtrooper trades with Unit Sabine regardless of if it gets the 2 XP or not. I mean, the only other thing is he's thinking, do I heroic sacrifice here and hope to draw more cards? Which I think that's probably the play, because you're going to lose your Sabine regardless. Pray that you hop into something better to play this round than the Wing Leader and the other heroic sacrifice that you have. We shall see. I don't like, he's hovering the Wing Leader. I don't like it though, because like, he just runs straight into it, right? Like, there's no reason he wouldn't run that Death Star Stormtrooper with his 5 power now straight into the Sabine that gets pumped. Like, it's just a waste of time. Trade his, disabling Fang Fighter with the Wing Leader. You're making nothing. Yeah. There we go. It's a play, I thought. So hits for 5. Draws a card. Not an optional draw card, so I stuck in. You have to draw the card. Rallying Cry is not what he wanted to see, though. Yeah, this game should pretty much be over, and Thorrk's just going to out-damage race at this point. Like, put 6 in, he's 1 swing away from the win. There's just nothing for Yakos to play here. Yeah, Wing Leader last turn on the Sabine was definitely a line. It was just the least resource efficient line, but maybe the more damage on the baseline. And I mean, just, yeah, but like buffed up leaders are so hard to deal with. But he wanted to use all 4 of his resources. If he played the Wing Leader last round, he left a resource on the table. He's like, I'm going to play this Wing Leader for no buff. Why? Because it's all I got. Just deal with it. This is where he goes, oh, okay, I will hit your base for 3, and any one of my 3 units represents lethal. Can we go to game 3? Thorrk, ever the control player, says, no, I will get rid of that Wing Leader because I'm afraid that you're going to attack with the +7 damage card. And I lose in 1 action if I let you have initiative. Oh, it is a 30 HP base. I am dumb. I need more coffee. This is what happens when you have me play or have me commentate before noon. I say stupid shit. I'm so used to like just seeing Sabine or any aggro in a 25 health base. Son of a gun. But you are right. So yeah, you couldn't have put him 1 away. He is at least another round away. The Red Wing, or the Red 3 and the A Wing, it's kind of reminded me, I just call it the Red Wing play. Gives them a decent space force, but it's not going to live. One of them is going to get intercepted. Big Season Short Trooper is going to come down, and it's still basically done. Just swing to base. You don't have to answer this thing yet. Thorrk, over the control player, will probably answer the thing. Control players can't help themselves sometimes. They're just like, unit needs to be removed. See? Must remove it. He could Wing Leader it. I mean, he could have Wing Leadered it. I mean, Red 3 comes out. No answer for this one. Now everything goes to base. It's going to be 7 damage with the Vader ping. Put him 4 away. And the Season Shore Trooper will represent lethal. He pinged himself, so it's anything represent. It's going to represent lethal after the Vader ping. I forgot he couldn't ping and place these. See, I swear to God, guys, I swear. I'm too tired. I need to get a second cup of coffee, pound an energy drink, so I can do simple math. But yeah, no, the Sabine ping pretty much. Yeah, he can't Sabine ping there because makes anything on the board lethal, and he doesn't have anything that's going to turn this 3 into an 8 to win. Yeah, I don't know if he wins either way there, CQ, but yeah, it's just going through the motions. I mean, he ends up 2 actions away from death instead of 1 action away from death, and yeah, I guess he could have had an out if he had 2 actions away from death, where he has the heroic sacrifice. So if his other draw was for a cause, he actually maybe could have snuck an out in there. What did he have? He does not run for a cause in his list. I guess that is a big thing to note when we're looking at deck lists. So that definitely cuts him out of an out. Yeah, that's what I thought, CQ. But yeah, here's his deck list on the screen. There is no for a cause. He does not run it because he's running a whole bunch of non-heroic cards. All right, update. We're going to game 3. And we are 1-1. Yeah, zero outs without the for a cause. To get, like, you know, the heroic sacrifice for 5, and then yeah, nothing else. Nothing he could have done to get the 8 damage from his deck list. I don't know. I feel like even with his list, I'd probably run for a cause anyway. Like, for a cause is so good. Like, for those exact scenarios where you're like, I just need the reach out to get me there. Well, game 3, Yakos gets the initiative. So we'll see if that's enough to help push him across the goal like it was game 1. Still working on. Yakos is going to his sideboard. What would he grab out of his sideboard? Infiltrator skills? I'm not sure. Disabling Fang Fighters versus the 3 lightsabers, I feel like it's a wash. Like, confiscates. I don't know. Yeah, the wing leader of the Sabine might have been the right call. That was the other line. Yeah, just making a unit that's harder for your opponent to deal with sometimes is better than trying to get more units that your opponent can deal with out on the board. Solid draw here for Yakos. Like, every game he's had solid draws. Decent counter draw here for Thorrk. He can, in response to the A-Wing, he can choose to do the TIE Fighter ping, and then TIE Fighter can trade. Or better yet, he can, round 2, just ambush the Consortium Star Viper. He's going to go the ping route. Save the Consortium Star Viper for a second space unit. Yeah, this is a good counter draw for Thorrk here, so it should help a lot, hopefully. Yep, get the ping, and the base, and a claim. Double cell block guards. Thorrk's prepared no matter which direction this goes. He did bring in the disabling Fang fighters. Really only the 3 lightsabers to worry about with it, but like he might have just wanted to be heavier space too. Might be less concerned about the upgrades and just have more space units. Thorrk can be weak to space, outside of the few space cards he does have if he doesn't draw into his removal. They have this stuff in the cards now. He's like, put this on there. I want that. So the Wing Leader is a decent play, because now the ambush energy conversion lab on the Consortium can't trade with it. So yeah, I don't know what the better line for Thorrk is here. Is it worth it to like 5th Brother to get the Force Throw online for next round? And then just trade out with the Wing Leader, and then maybe you can Force Throw. There's not a lot of 4s though to hit with the Force Throw, but it looks like that's the play he's leaning towards. Get the Force Throw online. Should be just swing 5 here, I think. Does he put the 2 damage on the A-Wing to make the Force Throw more likely to kill it? Yeah, that's what he's going to do. I mean, the Force Throw is risky here if he forces his opponent. If he has the Medal Ceremony, it's like Scoop City, right? Like, but he's playing towards that. He can force... The Open Fire was good here, so he can Force Throw Open Fire. Disabling Fang Fighter is interesting here, but it doesn't quite kill the A-Wing. And he can't play it in ping with Vader because it's not villain. Keep fighting on Yakos' side. He can push a lot of damage. Like he's gonna hand to push decent damage. He's got the aggression too. He could lead off aggression to get rid of 5th Brother and turn off Force Throw. Like if he, foresees that being the reason why Vader played 5th Brother, which, I mean, it's kind of a tell. Like why, unless it's either Thorrk has the Force Throw or he has nothing. Oh, he put down the Force Throw. Never mind. Haha. So he resourced the Force Throw. Wasn't even going to risk it, which I find like he's afraid that. I guess maybe he was afraid that since he didn't get an initiative, the 5th Brother would die. So it's crap. Yeah, take the 5 while you can get it. Ugh. Thorrk is actually getting in kind of this real awkward positions here. I don't even know what the right play is. I mean, Cell Block Guard, turn on the ping, preemptively stops Sabine. The ping plus the disabling Fang Fighter next round can kill the A-Wing, or the ping can kill the Wing Leader here, but like... Oh yeah, because of the raid. No, that was the right play. Because it's only 3 attack with the raid, so he hits for 5 more. Yeah, this is not looking good for Thorrk. Like, good news is, like, the Wing... Or the Cloud City, the Cell Block Guard does stop 2, but he can get 1 more ping in. And he still didn't get to a point where the disabling Fang Fighter can actually kill the A-Wing. Like... He has to open fire the A-Wing here. Or ambush the A-Wing. And he has the initiative, so he gets the heal. What's the line here for Yakos? His draw wasn't great. Like, he had been happy with what he has the Saboteur event, but didn't draw it. Trading out the cell block guard for damage doesn't feel great. Thorrk has no other plays this round. He is done. So he's just praying that Yakos doesn't have any tricks. He kind of doesn't. Like, he could slow roll. Like, okay, so he does have a route where he Rebel Pathfinders, keep findings to ready it, runs the Pathfinder into base for 2, and runs the Sabine in to clear the cell block guard for 1. Yeah. Put him at 19. And then 20 with the Sabine action, and he still has the Rebel Pathfinder up for combat shenanigans. Or he could just play out 2 units to keep the pressure up, which might be just the better play. I don't know. The board's clear, so like Overwhelming Barrage isn't a fear heading into round 6. So, like, you could just be like, I'm going to get Fleet Lieutenant, Rebel Pathfinder, and just try to push next round with bodies. Weird thing here is he doesn't know that the second consortium. I guess the second consortium Star Viper is probably too slow. So if he does go, he'd go disabling and Rebel Pathfinder. Fleet Lieutenant can only hit the Rebel Pathfinder though, because the disabling Fang Fighter is not a rebel. He could keep fighting that for 3. No, he's gonna fill the board. Save it for next round. Oh, another aggression. And another Fleet Lieutenant. He could double... No, he can't double Fleet Lieutenant here. He doesn't have 2 rebels. It's mostly math. Does he want 6? He does. He needs to put a Fleet Lieutenant down. You could keep fighting and aggression and just push it all the way through here. Or Fleet Lieutenant and keep fighting. You can't play both keep fightings. Yeah, I don't know how Thorrk gets out of this one. He's just flailing. The Interceptor helps, but he's going to eat 5 to base. And, oh, he has the Force Choke to buy time. Force Choke, like, he can still keep fighting the Fleet Lieutenant. So he can Fleet Lieutenant for 5, and then keep, yeah, okay. This should be over regardless. And he still has a Sabine ping. So this is done. So Fleet Lieutenant, swing in for 4, puts them at 21. He has a Force Choke. Doesn't matter which one he does because the Keep Fighting readies the other one. And he has nothing else to attack with. So that one hits for 2 or 3. If it hits for 2, he has the Sabine to follow up lethal. If it hits for 3, it's lethal on its own. Doesn't matter which one he hits. Very nice. Thorrk could not quite get through 2 aggroes to start. He's like, I didn't think people were playing a lot of aggro. Could not get through both of them. Yeah, he's tapped out. Not a thing he can do to stop this. Womp. Womp. Oh, I guess it's only Did he not hit? He was at 7. Oh, no, my math is... it'll be first action next round that he dies. But he can't stop it. So it's 2 and 1. Puts 3. And all these. Just in case. I mean... If you do top, it doesn't, like, yeah, it's like you might top deck into the overwhelming, but it's not, yeah, there it is. This is not going to matter. It's a beam ping for the win. Do you have the heal your base for a bunch of damage card? Still playing it. Thorrk's just open. He does not see the Sabine poke. Oh, darn. He saw it. GG's. All right. Interesting round 2. Thorrk, the reigning champion, has been taken out by the second aggro deck. He could not beat both of them. So congrats to Yakos. Well played. Well played game by both players. I'll stop the stream and we'll see if I'll be back for another one later. Thanks everyone for tuning in.